He said it was, according to him now, according to him, he said it was security that accepted money, participated in it, and it was so-called homies.
Breaking now. Insiders are whispering that Diddy's inner circle is plotting to take out Keefe D, the key witness in Shakur's unsolved tragedy, all to keep his lips sealed forever. Could this be the desperate move to bury a 30-year secret? The clock is ticking, and the stakes have never been higher. We've learned that behind the scenes, a shadowy campaign is unfolding inside the Clark County Detention Center, where Keefe D awaits his February 2026 trial for his alleged role in the 1996 drive-by that claimed the life of hip-hop's most iconic figure. Sources close to the situation tell us that Diddy's associates have allegedly made it clear Keefe D's testimony cannot see the light of day. And if bribes won't work, more permanent solutions might be on the table. This isn't just about one man's freedom, it's about a legacy, a fortune, and a truth that could rewrite history.
Well, Keefe D said he told Rat James that, look, it's big money in this. Only thing Puffy want to do is pay $1 million to have both of them. He told me that.
The urgency is undeniable. Keefe D, the former Compton Crip leader who once bragged about his involvement in the shooting, has suddenly flipped his story, proclaiming his innocence in a tearful Jailhouse interview with ABC News. But here's the twist. Insiders claim Diddy's team tried to pay him off years ago to stay quiet, offering what some describe as life-changing sums to ensure his name never surfaced in connection to the case. When that failed, the threats allegedly turned darker. Now, with Keefe D locked up and vulnerable, sources say the pressure has reached a boiling point. One wrong move, one loose word in that courtroom, and the carefully constructed narrative around Shakur's final moments could unravel completely. And if Keefe D talks, the whole house of cards crumbles. Let's rewind to understand how we got here. Keefe D wasn't always a man claiming innocence. For years, he openly discussed his role in the events of that fateful night in Las Vegas, even detailing the shooting in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend. But in a stunning reversal, he now insists he was never there, that he was hundreds of miles away in LA when the shots were fired. Prosecutors aren't buying it, and neither are Shakur's family, who've reportedly assembled a legal team to dig deeper into Diddy's alleged ties to the tragedy. Meanwhile, Keefe D's legal strategy has shifted dramatically. After firing his public defender, he's hired high-powered attorneys who promise new and substantive announcements ahead of the trial. The question is, what do they know that we don't? And why is Diddy's name suddenly back in the crosshairs?
I doubled back on him and said, what you mean? He said, well, look, Puffy used to come to the hood. He said, you can ask James. You know, him and James always been good friends, you know. James is the one who went through some things and been tampered with.
The bribery allegations are just the beginning. Back in 2025, a DEA document resurfaced, revealing that Keefe D told investigators in 2008 and 2009 that Diddy had placed a $1 million bounty on Shakur and Suge Knight. According to Keefe D's account, Diddy was furious, declaring he would give anything for those dudes' heads. Former Bad Boy security guard Gene Deal has long suggested that Eric Von Zip Martin may have been the middleman, urging authorities to track down financial records that could prove the transaction. Diddy, of course, has denied everything, even calling Shakur's brother Mopreme in the 2000s to personally distance himself from the allegations. But with Keefe D now facing decades behind bars, the incentives to talk, and the dangers of doing so, have never been clearer. Then there's the prison fight. Just last December, Keefe D was sentenced to 16 to 40 months for a jailhouse brawl he claims was a setup. Surveillance footage shows another inmate lunging at him, but Keefe D insists he was only defending himself. The timing is suspicious. With his trial looming, any incident that keeps him behind bars could be seen as a convenient way to silence him. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Keefe D is the only person ever charged in Shakur's case. If he disappears, or worse, if his credibility is destroyed, the truth might disappear with him.
And good thing he didn't, because even though we was friends, but if pays you, I got a bullet into my skull. And one of the best friends I ever had in life is Pac.
Enter 50 Cent, who's been trolling Diddy relentlessly on social media, even as his own Netflix documentary on the mogul's downfall prepares to drop. In a now-deleted Instagram post, 50 shared Keefe D's mugshot with a caption that read, "Keefe D talked himself into jail." But is there more to it? Sources suggest 50's public jabs mask a deeper strategy, one that could expose Diddy's alleged efforts to control the narrative. After all, 50 has spent years hinting at Diddy's involvement in Shakur's tragedy, and with Keefe D's trial on the horizon, the timing feels anything but coincidental. The contradictions are piling up. Keefe D has spent years oscillating between confessions and denials, first admitting his role in interviews and his memoir, then claiming he was paid to lie. Prosecutors argue they have enough evidence to convict him, but Keefe D's legal team is betting on a different angle, that the case is built on flimsy, uncorroborated statements. In a recent motion to dismiss, they argued that Nevada law prohibits convictions based solely on extrajudicial claims. If they succeed, the case could collapse, and with it, any chance of holding someone accountable for Shakur's tragedy. But here's where it gets even messier. Keefe D isn't just fighting for his freedom, he's fighting for his life. Insiders say Diddy's associates have made it clear that prison is the safest place for him right now. The implication? On the outside, he'd be an easy target. And with Diddy himself now behind bars on unrelated charges, his ability to influence events from the inside is a chilling possibility. Remember, this is a man who spent decades cultivating power, connections, and loyalty. If he wanted Keefe D silenced, how many people would be willing to make it happen?
He's saying that, Diddy, he put a hit out on you and Tupac, and that's the reason why Tupac got in Vegas. So, yeah, man. How you feel about that?
Well, first thing first. I mean, that conversation been out there. He put his truth out there. A lot of other people put their truth out there.
The trial delay only adds to the tension. Originally set for March 2025, the proceedings were pushed back to February 2026, giving both sides more time to prepare, and more time for witnesses to disappear, memories to fade, or new deals to be struck. Keefe D's attorneys say they need the extra months to review overwhelming evidence, but critics argue it's just another stall tactic. Meanwhile, Shakur's family is watching closely, and so is the hip-hop community. After nearly 30 years of unanswered questions, the prospect of finally getting closure is tantalizing. But if Keefe D never makes it to that courtroom, the truth might stay buried forever. And then there's Suge Knight, who's been dropping bombshells from his own prison cell. On his podcast, Collect Call, he's hinted that Snoop Dogg might have more to do with Shakur's tragedy than anyone realizes. Suge claims Snoop never visited Shakur in the hospital after the shooting, despite their close friendship. He's also questioned why Snoop and Daz Dillinger recorded a track with one of Shakur's alleged attackers. The implications are staggering. If Suge is right, the web of complicity could extend far beyond Diddy and Keefe D.
Yeah. It was like with some people they didn't, like the flow. With some people they didn't like the image. It differed, but nevertheless we could.
Yet pieces are moving fast. Keefe D's legal team is promising explosive revelations. 50 Cent's documentary is poised to reignite public outrage. And Diddy? He's staying silent, at least for now. But in the world of hip-hop, silence is rarely golden. It's usually a sign that someone has something to hide. With Keefe D's life hanging in the balance, the next few months could determine whether Shakur's case is finally solved, or whether the most dangerous secrets are lost with the only man who knows them. But if Diddy's goons succeed in shutting Keefe D down, what other dark truths from that night in Vegas might vanish forever? The answers could be closer than we think, and the fallout could be devastating. Stay tuned as we peel back the layers.
I can see the vision. But I'm gonna be honest with you about that. I'm glad. Because I don't think that dude would be as successful and billionaire that he is had they signed him. Because this is when Jay was doing that, that fast rapping stuff, what him and Jazzo created. So he was doing that fast rapping thing. And, that style, it was hot for a minute and then it kind of went away, I think Twister may have been the only one that really survived that whole, era of that, So, I don't think that Jay would have really blew up had he came out, with that flow, Once he, had a chance to reflect and, say, nah, I want to change it up. And he got on his, his gangster hustler shit. The rest was history. So, I'm glad that we didn't get him a deal. I'm glad I didn't get him a deal because what he did on his own and figured out, that was the ticket.
The deeper we dig into Keefe D's sudden reversal, the more one question burns. Why would a man who spent years boasting about his role in Shakur's tragedy now claim total innocence, unless the cost of staying silent became too high? Sources familiar with the case believe the answer lies in those explosive 2008 and 2009 police interviews, where Keefe D allegedly spilled everything, only to later call it all a lie for profit. But here's the chilling part. Insiders say Diddy's team didn't just take those admissions seriously, they saw them as a direct threat. And when the memoir Compton Street Legend hit shelves in 2019, repeating those same claims, the stakes allegedly shifted from legal exposure to something far more dangerous. We're talking about a man who, by his own past words, was in the car that night, who named names, who described the weapon, only to now insist he was nowhere near Las Vegas. That kind of flip-flop doesn't happen without pressure. And in this world, pressure often comes with consequences. Let's talk about those jailhouse fights. Keefe D's December 2024 brawl wasn't just bad luck, it was a red flag. Surveillance footage shows another inmate lunging at him, but Keefe D insists it was a setup, a deliberate provocation to keep him locked down. Why? Because an inmate with a target on his back is easier to control. And who benefits from Keefe D staying behind bars, isolated, with limited access to lawyers or media? The same people who, according to insiders, have been trying to silence him for years. Remember, this is a man who's already survived cancer, the streets, and the FBI. Yet now, in the final stretch before trial, he's suddenly in the middle of a conveniently timed altercation. Coincidence? Or is someone ensuring he doesn't make it to that courtroom in one piece? Then there's the matter of Diddy's phone call to Mopreme Shakur, Shakur's brother, back in the 2000s. Mopreme recounted how Diddy reached out personally, man to man, to deny any involvement in the tragedy. "I just want you to know I ain't have nothing to do with your brother's tragedy," he allegedly said. But fast forward to 2024, and Shakur's family is assembling a legal team, digging into those same denials with fresh eyes. What changed? Sources suggest new evidence, perhaps tied to those old DEA documents, has made Diddy's past assurances look less like innocence and more like damage control. And if Keefe D starts connecting those dots in court, the dominoes could fall fast.
I heard that no one really wanted to sign him when you were shopping him around the record labels. Is that true?
Yeah. This was, I want to say, I don't know, 90, 91 maybe. We was, we recorded some songs, probably about 4 or 5 songs on Jay-Z, and shopped them to several different record labels, and they all passed.
The financial trail is where things get even murkier. Keefe D's claims about a $1 million bounty on Shakur and Suge Knight weren't just idle chatter. They were allegedly repeated to investigators, complete with details about who was supposed to handle the payoff. Former Bad Boy security guard Gene Deal has pointed fingers at Eric Von Zip Martin, urging authorities to follow the money. But here's the kicker. If Diddy's team ever moved that kind of cash, the paper trail would be nearly impossible to hide. Unless, of course, the right people were paid to look the other way. And with Keefe D now switching lawyers, twice, it's hard not to wonder if his new legal team is preparing to drop a bombshell or just buying time for someone else's agenda. Let's not forget 50 Cent's role in all this. His relentless social media trolling of Diddy isn't just for clout, it's a pattern. When Keefe D was arrested in 2023, 50 posted his mugshot with the caption, "Keefe D talked himself into jail," alongside a clip of Keefe pleading for Diddy to show some love. That phrase, show some love, has taken on a sinister double meaning. Insiders say it's code for the failed bribe attempts, the unkept promises, the moment Diddy allegedly decided silence wasn't enough. And with 50's Netflix documentary dropping in December 2025, the timing feels like a calculated strike. Is he just stirring the pot, or does he know something the rest of us don't? The trial delay to February 2026 isn't just about legal prep, it's about survival. Keefe D's team claims they need more time to review evidence, but critics argue it's a stall tactic, a way to let memories fade, witnesses disappear, or new deals get struck. And with Keefe D now facing additional time for the jail fight, his chances of walking free before the trial are slim. That's a problem for someone who's allegedly been warned that prison is the only place he's safe. Because if he's released, the threats don't just come from rival gangs. They come from the same powerful forces that, according to whispers, have been pulling strings since 1996. Suge Knight's recent podcast bombshells add another layer to this web. He's not just pointing fingers at Snoop Dogg, he's suggesting that the entire death row inner circle had motives to stay quiet. And if Snoop's name is being dragged into this now, decades later, what does that say about the lengths people will go to protect their legacies? Suge's claims that Snoop never visited Shakur in the hospital, that he had advance warning of the tragedy, that he recorded a track with one of the alleged shooters, it's a narrative that's gaining traction. And if Keefe D starts naming names in court, the fallout could redefine hip-hop history.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions. They don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their...
The real question isn't just about survival, it's about legacy. Insiders speculate that Diddy's alleged desperation to silence Keefe D isn't just about avoiding legal fallout. It's about preserving the last shreds of an empire that's been crumbling for years. With his Netflix documentary looming and a string of legal battles chipping away at his reputation, the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just a fight over what happened in 1996. It's a battle to control the narrative before Keefe D's testimony potentially rewrites history. And if the past is any indication, Diddy's playbook has always been the same: deny, deflect, and, when necessary, eliminate the threat. But this time, the threat isn't just a rival. It's a man who claims to hold the keys to hip-hop's darkest secret. What's even more chilling is the timing. Diddy's legal troubles have mounted in recent years, from high-profile lawsuits to criminal charges that have left his once untouchable image in tatters. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Shakur case isn't just a loose end. It's the one thread that, if pulled, could unravel everything. And with Keefe D's trial delayed until February 2026, the window for damage control is shrinking. The longer this drags on, the more time there is for old alliances to fracture, for new witnesses to emerge, or for suppressed rumors to resurface. Could this be why the threats against Keefe D have allegedly escalated? Because in a world where power is everything, the ultimate power play might just be ensuring that some truths never see the light of day.
You know, and with this arrest of Keefe D, brought more questions. You know what I mean? And and there was some answers with that. So it has to be, you know, looked at.
Then there's the psychological angle, one that insiders say Diddy's inner circle is acutely aware of. Keefe D isn't just a witness, he's a living contradiction, a man who spent years oscillating between confession and denial, between defiance and fear. That kind of instability makes him unpredictable, and in a high-stakes game like this, unpredictability is dangerous. If Keefe D cracks under pressure, if he flips his story one more time, the fallout could be catastrophic. But if he's silenced permanently, the question becomes, who else knows what he knows? And are they next? The fear isn't just about what Keefe D might say, it's about what others might be compelled to reveal if he does. The suppressed rumors of gang ties resurfacing add another layer to this saga. For years, whispers have persisted about Diddy's alleged connections to the same underground networks that once ruled hip-hop's shadow economy. If Keefe D's testimony opens the door to those claims, the implications could stretch far beyond Shakur's tragedy. We're talking about a domino effect, one that could implicate not just Diddy, but an entire generation of power players who've spent decades keeping their hands clean. And if that happens, the fallout wouldn't just be legal, it would be cultural, because in hip-hop, where loyalty and betrayal are currency, the ultimate sin isn't just breaking the code, it's getting caught. The most haunting possibility? That this isn't just about Shakur's tragedy, it's about the cost of silence. For years, the unspoken rule in hip-hop has been that some truths are better left buried. But as Keefe D's trial approaches, that rule is being tested like never before. If he talks, the consequences could be irreversible. If he doesn't, the secrets might be lost with him. And in the end, that's the real power play. Not just controlling the narrative, but ensuring that the only people who know the truth are the ones who can't, or won't, ever speak it. The most terrifying possibility? That Keefe D's life is the last obstacle between the public and the full truth. His attorneys are promising new and substantive announcements before trial. Could that mean evidence linking Diddy directly to the bounty? Or is it a bluff, a final attempt to leverage his way out of a life sentence? Either way, the clock is ticking. And if the past is any indication, the closer we get to that courtroom, the higher the risks become. Because in this game, the only thing more dangerous than talking is being the last one left who can. So here's where we leave you, with a question that's haunted this case for nearly 3 decades. If Keefe D doesn't make it to trial, who else knows the truth? And are they next? The shadows around Shakur's tragedy are growing longer, but the light might finally be breaking through. Stay locked in, stay suspicious, and ask yourself, how far would you go to bury a secret this big? We'll be watching, and trust us, you won't want to miss what happens next. Until then, keep your eyes open and your guard up. This story is far from over.